Hi, welcome to the Israel First television program with myself, Martin Blackham, with my wife, Nathalie Blackham. Great to be with you. Well, the last time we were with you, we were talking about the Gaza War and the Iran War. The Gaza War was at the front, and of course, the Iran War was behind. There wasn't anything happening, but now, as we come to you today, it's swapped. The Iran War is now the main war, and Gaza War has been forgotten, Nathalie. Don't hear really very much at all about what's happening over in Gaza. And one of the big things, of course, because of the Iran war, is the missile attacks and the necessity of going into bomb shelters and the sirens going off. And we've had plenty of those, Nathalie, since we spoke to you on the last program. Now, very sadly, 9 people were killed in Bet Shemesh. I think that number, in fact, actually is more now, following a direct missile impact. Medical teams treated 2 victims in serious condition, 3 in moderate condition, and another 18 who were lightly injured. According to the police, as of Sunday, 11 individuals are still unaccounted for following the strike. Efforts to locate them continue, together with searches at the scene to rule out the possibility of individuals being trapped. The police stated the missile struck the roof of a bomb shelter where people had gathered in response to the red alert sirens. Israeli police spokesman Dean Elsdon said the world knows that the Iranian regime doesn't have a problem targeting its own civilians, and here you can see they don't have a problem targeting Israeli civilians. This missile, indeed all the missile attacks as far as I'm aware, have been in civilian areas in Israel and not on military sites.
And especially populated places.
Magen David Adom, the National Ambulance Service of Israel, has said that upon receiving the reports of the missile strike, they sent a large fleet of ambulances because of the significant destruction, including mobile intensive care units. When we arrived, we saw extensive damage and residents have been rescued from the building. We provided medical treatment to several casualties, including a 10-year-old girl in very serious condition, as well as a number of other injured individuals. The IDF said Homefront Command search and rescue forces, together with numerous medical teams and a helicopter for casualty evacuation, were operating at the site. The IDF spokesperson's unit clarified that following the review of the early warning system, it functioned, but it didn't seem to stop the missile that was fired from Iran. 4 of the 9 people killed were named by authorities on the Sunday night after this happened. The victims included a mother and her adult daughter. Now, what's very interesting is, again in the news, Bet Shemesh came up, as the evacuees have been relocated to seek shelter in Jerusalem at the capital's Leonardo Plaza Hotel. Some of you may have visited it. It's a very nice hotel. 300, listen to that, 300 people, evacuees, tried to pick up the pieces of their lives after their homes were destroyed in the deadly strike. They say it's only a miracle that we are still alive. For more Bazar Galo, life has been a blur since a home in Bet Shemesh was heavily damaged by the missile attack. Our house was severely damaged in the attack, she said. The ceiling collapsed on top of my daughter and me, and it was only a miracle that we are alive.
It is. When you see how many missiles have been sent, I mean,
fired,
you're right.
Israel.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see so less casualty, which is just miracles. We just have to say nes. Nes is miracle in Hebrew, and you can hear the people saying there is so many nes here, right. So many miracles.
The land of miracles, really. Yes. The windows shattered, she said. The light fixture fell down, and everything was broken on the floor, and that was it. Bazagalo and her daughter were taken to the hospital for treatment and later reunited with her husband and their 2 children before being sent to the Leonardo Plaza Hotel in Jerusalem. Now, one of the interesting things is that, as a sideline, I should say, the airport had been closed, so tourists who were here when the main war with Iran, I should say, because it's been ongoing, but the big war with Iran started, and the American forces and Israeli air forces were involved in attacks. When that happened, people were trapped and they've been leaving the country. But of course, it's been difficult for tourists to come. So hotels have obviously been empty when they should be full because it's tourist season, and they should be tourists coming to see Israel. Now, she and her family, alongside hundreds of other evacuees from the city of Bet Shemesh, have been looked after at the Plaza Hotel, and I believe that they've got representatives there from different agencies to look after them. And indeed, I know that many people are involved with the help. The social workers are helping them and looking to take care of them in the meantime, but they are without a home, which I can tell you from experience is not very nice. Now, one of the things that's happened...
We haven't had a home for 6 months, 7 months almost.
Yeah.
And now we're at home again, and it's just wonderful. So we really experience how it is for people. It wasn't missiles, it was just like we had to move house, and it was difficult to find one for all our needs and everything. But like, we really understand more now, because we've been through that when you don't have a home, there is a part of you is missing. And psychologically, like a home is like, which is interesting, we speak with the letters about it, by it, it's like you have walls, not walls to be against people, is walls to protect you. And when you don't have a home and you don't have your walls of protection, you are very vulnerable, and you are on survival mode. And a lot of people now on survival mode, and people who know that missiles are coming, even if they feel that they have a mamad, like a place of refuge,
bomb shelter,
is like God gave us such a survival system inside of us, that your nervous system is on alert, even if you don't really want to. You are, because you have this survival system put in you, and you are like, okay, what is when is the next alert? You are like on alert, consciously or even unconsciously. And so you have to breathe, you have to learn to do some nice things, you have to be kind with yourself, you have to be kind with the people around you. You have to really use some of your energy to put things deep inside of you, to try to stay who you are. And this is why it's so important to trust in God and know that He is our refuge. And we are learning day by day that He is our refuge, and He is in charge of all what's happening. We know that redemption is coming, but this is like the birth. We say so many times, but it's like we see it more and more. We are coming in the critical time of baby is going to be born, and so there is more pain, but we know that is for a good thing. So it's why in the middle of that, we know that you are also in the middle of that. We know that all around the world is not easy, but obviously Israel is the center of the world. There is a beautiful passage in Ezekiel 5 where he speaks that God put Israel in the middle of the nation, in the center of the nations, and it's what's happening, and it's where Mashiach, the Messiah, is coming. So it's all part of all these things, and we are in the middle of it with you.
Yeah, and it's not just the adults that are affected by the sirens, continuous sirens going off, but the children as well.
And the animals.
yes, schools have been closed. Some are reopening, but a lot of schools have been closed because they didn't have a bomb shelter, or for whatever reason they were closed for security purposes.
And also because of the parents to be close to
Right.
the children, there is a security to be
Yeah.
with the family.
And so a lot of parents who are working, it's made it very difficult for them. And of course, for the tourist industry, it's basically been closed down overnight, and so is reeling again because, as we've told you on the program before, they've been affected, well, first of all by COVID and all that nonsense, and now, and then with the October the 7th and the Gaza war, and now with the Iran war. So it's really been very difficult for all the tourist industry people. And I want to talk about that. Workers in Israel are reeling from the financial toll of the Hamas conflict. The Gaza war has already affected them before the Iran war. After more than 2 years, almost 50% of self-employed workers have reported losses in Israel. IDI poll finds, and now face further losses as businesses are hit by the conflict. When I say businesses, it's not just the tourist industry, but coffee shops, restaurants, theme parks, recreational facilities are all affected because people aren't going out. A lot of people want to be safe and near a bomb shelter or stay near their home, and so a lot of people are not doing the things that they would normally do. And particularly restaurants feel that when people feel safe, they tend to go out more than if they don't. So almost 1/3, Nathalie, of employees in Israel were already battling lower monthly incomes as they struggle to recover from the financial fallout of more than 2 years of war, the Gaza war, sparked by the October the 7th Hamas massacre, according to the survey by the Israeli Democracy Institute. Many parents, as I mentioned, are still unable to work because they could not leave young children at home as the Iranian missiles come in volleys. And we've also had the missiles from Lebanon being in the north, fired by Hezbollah. The decision to open the economy while the education system is closed has created an intolerable situation in which parents are forced to choose between their livelihood and caring for their children, said National Labour Federation Chairman Yoav Simcha. And this has really been a problem for many people who are struggling to balance school, work, running to bomb shelters. You can imagine the stress that people are going through. Now,
just even the to tell you a story, that the sound of the siren, where we are, we don't hear it so close. I mean, so like it's not so strong like we were living before, and our dog was getting very crazy with this noise. And now one day I was listening to something and there was a siren on my phone, and the dog started to think, wow, he really reacts. So you can imagine, like, for everybody and the children, so how the parents needs to really, again, we were speaking about that, like trying to keep sane, I would say, and because you stay sane, your children are staying sane. But if you are not, it's going on all the family. So you can imagine like the tension, and you need to learn to deal with this every hour, every day.
Right. One of the interesting things is, because of the Gaza war and because of what's happening, the defense giant Elbit becomes Israel's most valuable company after 45% unbelievable increase this year, almost 50%. Fueled by booming arms sales, Elbit's market value soared to $40 billion in Tel Aviv, overtaking the drug pharmaceutical giant Teva, which is a very big drugs company or pharmaceutical company, chemist company, and the country's banks even that Elbit has overtaken, Leumi and Bank Hapoalim. Weapons manufacturer Elbit becomes the largest Israeli firm by market value listed on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange after surpassing Teva Pharmaceuticals. Elbit's shares have jumped by 4% because of that, taking its market value to 123 billion shekels, $40 billion, according to stock exchange data. Among all companies listed on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, Elbit is the second most valuable company after US cybersecurity giant Palo Alto Networks, with a market capitalization of 396 billion. Absolutely incredible, the amount of money that these weapons manufacturers are making. Now, Nathalie comes to bring us the Hebrew language. She's written a book on the letters, the Hebrew letters, and also the Jewish roots and Hebrew understanding. So what have you got for us today, Nathalie?
Something much nicer than the war. Okay, so we have started already to look at the letters, the Hebrew letters, which they are beautiful. They have life in themselves, I would say. And so we are now on the 6th letter. If you want to look at the others, you have to look at the end of our program, and I do the precedent programs, and you can see the letters that we already looked at. Now we are on the letter 6, and it's a Vav. Let me show you. Very simple one is like a little nail, okay? And this letter, I say so, is number 6, because there is always a number corresponding to the letter. And King David, our great king, wrote a lot of psalms, and the Psalm 119 is the longest psalm, because he's using every Hebrew letters, and he does 8 verses for each of the letters. So there is 176 verses, okay, in this psalm. And he really, because he wanted to show, I mean, you can imagine him, he has to compose this psalm, and he used the letters to show the treasure that God has given us in the Torah and how important it is. And so this is, is beautiful. I wanted to tell you about this psalm. You can read it yourself. You will see it's beautiful, and quite often we don't know that is with the Aleph Bet. There is few psalms, by the way, where David composed with the Holy Spirit, I will say, these psalms, and they are always very special when there is the Aleph Bet. Now, when we look at the number 6, is the number of man, okay, of mankind. On the 6th day of creation, man was created, okay, which was the masterpiece, I would say, of God. And he say, I make you in my own image, which is like amazing to know that we have a little part of God in us. Then you have the number 7, which is completion, which is like Shabbat, which is also the millennium, where everything will be complete on earth. And then there is the number 8, which is new creation, new heaven, new earth. And which is because of that, also King David wrote 8 verses in the Psalm 119 to show that God is bringing us something new. Also with the Hebrew language is something very prophetic, okay? To know the Hebrew language, I always say when you read it in Hebrew, it goes straight into you. Compared to the other languages, they are trying to say what is said in Hebrew. So it's very interesting. So we say there is a beautiful passage in for the Christian in 1 Corinthians 15:47. And I looked at it in the Aramaic Bible today, because it's very interesting to look, a lot of people were speaking Aramaic during Jesus' time. And this is what is written in this verse. The first man was dust from the ground, which is interesting because the name Adam comes from Adama, which is the ground, the soil, okay? So Adam comes from Adama. It was the first man coming from the ground. But the second man, the Lord Yehovah, is from heaven. And this is the translation of the Aramaic Bible. So, which is very interesting because the Jewish people always speak about Adam Arishon, the first man. So if you have the first one, you need to have another one, isn't it? So we know that Yeshua, Jesus, is the second man who came from God, who came from heaven to show us the way. And when you look at this letter Vav, what I forgot to tell you is number 6, but is also used is the connector, okay? So when you say Martin and Nathalie, it will be Martin Vav Nathalie, okay? Or et Nathalie. Vav is the letter, but et is how you will say it. And so the Vav is the connection. And I've told you is also the picture of a nail. So it's really to show us that he came on earth to being the connection for us and to be able to connect again with heaven. It's just beautiful.
Now, if they want to get your book, they can get that from the website. Subject, of course, to the war and everything. But
I just sent many books. And a lot in German. We have it in English. We have it in French. We have it in Dutch. It's Dutch, you say, from Netherlands. And we have one who is getting ready for the Portuguese, Brazil and Portugal and
so you can go to the website and see the book. Now, one of the things that's been happening is that hospitals and medical centres have had to change what they do. And from fortified operating rooms to pop-up clinics, Israel's medical centres have streamlined for the wartime, using knowledge that they gained the hard way from what happened after October the 7th. Hospitals have gone underground with incoming missile fire, and staff know the drill. So when the alarm goes off, what do the nurses do, Nathalie? They have to go down to the bomb shelter. Now, different hospitals have been doing different things. Dr. Jonathan Mishvat, a family doctor in the city's Mishlat General Clinic, has been travelling to Jerusalem, Nathalie. He's from Bet Shemesh, just to go and help the people from Bet Shemesh to see a family doctor, a familiar face in the middle of the crisis, as Nathalie was saying, that they've lost their homes. And it's very important for them to have familiar faces that they can see.
Continuation, yeah.
He says, this is what he says: when I learned that my patients were evacuated from their homes, it was clear to me that I would reach out to them. Lishfad said in a statement, beyond medical care, sometimes the mere encounter with a familiar doctor gives a sense of security in a very turbulent time. Now, hospitals have also, there have been pop-up clinics. Clinics have been popping up in different places to help people. There have also been underground car parking lots used as hospital wards, operating rooms, and health clinics around the country. Immediately after the start of the war, the health ministry directed medical centres around Israel to switch to emergency mode, moving intensive care patients and operations to underground complexes or performing surgeries in protected spaces. Obviously, it's not the best place to have to do operations or deal with patients underground, but that's what they've had to do for security purposes. Well, it's been great to be with you today. Thank you so much for joining us. And you can look at the website, which is www.israelfirst.org. There's a lot of information on there.
And you are doing a story every day.
There's a news story. You go to the media page and click on Israel News, and you can see a daily news story. Nathalie does a weekly update, which you can sign up for. It's all free. The news is free and the update is free. You can have that into your inbox. If you would like to help us financially, we do need your financial help, then please go to the donate page. A lot of information on there. If it's not on there, then please do contact us and we will do our very best to help you to get the donation to us, which is the reason we can come to you today, isn't it, Natalie? That people who are supporting us financially. And thank you so much to our friends and partners who are out there and making this program possible. Well, we look forward to seeing you soon. And in the meantime, we say goodbye and shalom. And remember, we're the program that looks at the language, the people, and the country.